Hey Cancer, how's it going, guys? It's been a little while. I'm glad to be talking to y'all. I was gonna say the first of the water signs, but I did Scorpio because I missed them last month. But I missed you guys. You know especially why? We had a full moon in Cancer in the beginning of this month, and let me tell you, I don't know if it's because I'm a Cancer rising or just because that's how it's affecting everybody, but that energy just fucked me up. I swear to you, like the 2 days before and the 2 days after, I just had like the craziest dreams. Did you guys have that? Did you have just like crazy emotional dreams? Like I had nightmares. It was crazy. But guys, there's a lot going on this month, right? We have a lot going on, especially in Capricorn, right? We have Saturn just entered Capricorn. We have the Sun in Capricorn. In a couple of days, we're going to have the new moon in Capricorn. And then we also have Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. And what's that going to mean for Cancer? Like all that Capricorn energy about getting serious, right? Like development, career growth, and all that stuff. But like with planet like Venus in your sign, in Capricorn, Cancer's going to be going to have to look at your relationships, right? And how those relationships help you with that like Capricorn energy, right? Like how they move you forward, how they push you forward. Right off the bat, we got the 10 of Pentacles. I like it. Because what we're also looking at for Cancer this month is creativity, right? Like how people in your life build you up, but also like, I think what the 10 of Pentacles is saying here, guys, is like, how are you building yourselves up? How is that Capricorn energy being put to use in your life, right? Like the 10 of Pentacles to me is a card that's a lot about home and family and like the structures that we build. Right? So for this month, guys, it looks like there's going to be a big focus on what we create. I say we, Cancer rising, but like what Cancer's creating, right? How that's building you up, how that is fitting your idea and your vision for what you want your life to look like, for the kind of stability and security that we're looking for with Cancer, right? So again, I want to emphasize that too. I think there's going to be a big emphasis on stability and security in your life this month, right? And how we're working towards that for like the rest of the year, for the rest of this Saturn and Capricorn transit. I've been liking the energy, right? Like I've been really liking that Capricorn energy. I was afraid of it, but now that it's here, like I'm focused on my health in a way I haven't been in the longest time. All right, we got the King of Swords just popped out here. Right? I've been focusing on my health. I've been focusing on my money and my career goals and my professional ambitions. That's something Gemini is dealing with this month, but I think everybody is feeling that Capricorn energy. And Cancer, like with the King of Swords popping up here as one of the basis cards, I think Cancer is going for it. You know, I think this is a time to make moves. I think this is a time to really like sort of be ruthless about making sure that like you have everything you need and making sure that there's no one in your life who's like fucking with your bag, you know what I mean, right? That's why I said it's important to like make sure who you have surrounding you. Are they building you up? Are they supporting this vision that you have of like where you want to be and how things are going to end up for you? Because the swords to me, it's like action and movement, but also I think of it literally as cutting ties with people, cutting cords, right? So Cancer for January is going to be like really taking stock of who and what is supporting and who is not, right? But then this is also not just about people though. This is like ambition for me right now with Cancer. This is about, I mean, like right now for watery sign where we got pentacles and we got air. I mean, swords for air and earth. Right? So Cancer is like really focused on their game. They're really on their game right now. Really, really pushing. Like to me, the 10 of Pentacles with the King of Swords is like real professional ambition. Right? Real like ruthlessness. Real, the King of Wands is kind of more of a focus king to me, but the King of Swords is about getting it, right? It's about knowing what you want and having the power and the ambition and the drive to get it, right? Like, this is where Cancer becomes ruthless, right? Cancer is like a sensitive sign, very loving, right? But when they become ruthless, it's about their money, it's about their home, it's about the family, right? Like, you want security. That's one of the trademarks of Cancer, right? More than anything in the world, you guys want security. Security in love, security in money, security in your family, right? And also, like, that's why you have that big shell, right? Security is important. But you can't, again, like with the Cancer, with the crab in the shell, like, you can't hold up too long, right? There comes a point where you have to be strong and come out and be, like, vulnerable, but, like, be fierce and be strong. So Cancer, like, it's a good month to, like, go deep, right? We also have Jupiter, and these cards are just flying out today. Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio. Good time to, like, be ambitious, right? Talk about, like, getting passionate. Talk about pursuing, like, the things that are really driving you, the things that inspire you, right? And then we have Death. So what are we changing this month? What are we shifting away from? So far, intuitively, I'm kind of feeling like it's a shedding of the old ways, of the old identity, right? Cancer is often thought of as like a shape-shifting sign, right? Identity is very important to Cancer, but Cancer can also, like, take on different identities, which is fun, right? Like, that's part of how the crab comes out of the shell a little bit, is by, you know, I'm this person now, and that kind of doesn't affect me. I think Cancer, and I've actually kind of seen this in the Cancers in my life, are just taking on a new approach, are getting serious, right? Some people say Cancer's a lazy sign. I don't really like to think so, but, like, again, as a Cancer rising, sometimes I see that in myself, right? But I think that this is a new identity. I think that this is, like, kind of a new ferocious kind of energy to Cancer. But again, like, it's not just for like, you know, cutting people off or, like, being a dick. It's because, like, you're driven by this. You're driven by the bigger things, right? The things that matter, your home, your family, your security. Nothing comes before that. So interesting start, right? Like, perfect. This is very promising to me for, like, how this year and how the rest of Saturn and Capricorn is going to look for Cancer. It looks like Cancer is going to kind of handle this energy really well. It's going to take it in stride. You know, it's going to be hustling. Cancer is going to be hustling. Cancer is going to be, like, hunkering down. I feel with this Ten of Pentacles, I just feel like strength. Like, not the card strength, but, like, you know, just that, like, no one's going to be fucking with your lifestyle. No one's going to be fucking with, like, you and who you are and who you want to be, right? At the end of the month, we have an eclipse in Leo. Big dramatic changes, right? When there's an eclipse, especially in a sign like Leo, there's changes, there's shifts. I think that's what I kind of feel here with the attitude of Cancer. Like, you know, Cancer got attitude, right? Like, ready to pop off at the neck and, like, tell somebody off when they cross you, right? Or even, like, if you're not that kind of Cancer, like, if you're, like, my kind of Cancer, you're just kind of like, yeah, like, you're mad at somebody and you're just like, why are you talking to me? You know how Cancer gets that, like, mood swings? But this isn't, like, insecure to me. This is, like, a grounded sense of, like, you know, when you're in that point where you're just, like, done with everybody and you just, like, don't give a fuck anymore and you'll tell people about themselves. Like, that's what I'm feeling here. But in a grounded way, right? Not in that, like, Cancer up and down mood swingy way, but in a, like, almost adopting it as part of who you are. Look, the Magician. Right? Like, manifesting. What did I just say about how Cancer is going to really be handling this Capricorn energy so well? Right? This is, like, to me, a degree of seriousness. Right? Like, these cards are showing, like, a real seriousness, a real serious approach, a real, like, grounded, driven approach to accomplishing this. Like, Cancer's got their eye on the prize. Making things happen. Right? Really manifesting your goals, really working towards your dreams. Like a hustle. is what I feel here, right? Like with these two cards together, that energy is just like get the fuck out of Cancer's way. Right? Like if we saw maybe the Chariot pop up, then you like really get the fuck out of Cancer's way. Not only is that the Cancer card, but like that shit is moving. So Cancer, I think it's a big manifesting month. It's a big time to make changes, and I think changes that are going to last like for the year to come. I think if you've been struggling with finances, you're going to see an improvement. If you've been struggling at the job, you might start to see things pay off, right? Like sacrifices you've been making, or like all the hard work you're putting in, like actually getting acknowledged, right? If you've been working on your body, you're going to start to see those gains, bro. I mean, not to brag, but like I've been working out and Cancer rising, I'm seeing the gains. I have my Cancer friend again who got like real serious about work. She's going to the gym like 3 or 4 days a week now. Before work, she gets up early to do that shit. You know, that's what I'm kind of saying is like the Cancer energy I'm feeling here. Making things happen. I like it, right? Because then like you feel good, right? Cancer's going to feel good. Right? Like a lot of times I say like when you focus on like the emotions, justice. When you focus on the emotions, sometimes you just like chase cheap thrills and stuff. Right? And this is, and like it's a good way to get out of the emotions by focusing on the material stuff. And I think Cancer has that down pat. We have justice. Right? Like aligning yourself with your path, with your goal, with your dreams, with your passions. Right? Like, look at these two cards together. The Magician and Justice. To me, it's about, like, Cancer finding... Like, Cancer, I think, is finding their way. Cancer is, like, in their power. You know, Cancer is maybe... Like, I don't know if maybe you felt like you weren't on the right path for a while, or you were a little confused, but, like, now it's like, no, I know where I'm supposed to be. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm making it happen. Like, make those dreams happen, Cancer. Like, you get it. You get it. You worked hard. You deserve it. Right? Cancer deserves this. After all the ways you've been fucked around with lately, like, that full moon in Cancer in the beginning of the month was, like, kind of like a good omen for, like, Cancer, you know? For it's like saying, like, yeah, this year's starting off with a super moon in Cancer, and it's kind of like saying like, hey, that one popped out. Cards are popping out here, guys. Like, hey, you got this for this year, Cancer. Okay, on one pathway we have the Nine of Swords. All right, obviously anxiety, worry, fear, stress, grief. They just keep popping out today. On the other side we have the moon. So let's look at this for a second, right? First of all, I'm going to call out, like, of the 7 cards we have here, 4 are majors. Right? So, remember what I said? It's like a big deal. Like, this year starting off right for Cancer, right? Like, big shifts. Like, death is kind of personifying to me what I'm seeing in these cards here overall. Right? Like, a real change in attitude, a real shift in mentality. And then here we go, as our 2 pathways. We have the Nine of Swords, and then we have the Moon, right? So obviously the Nine of Swords is just like fear and worry, right? This is like Cancer in their shell. This is Cancer not having this, right? And not just not having this, but sort of feeling the pain and the grief and the anxiety and the worry of not having this, right? This is a very insecure Cancer. This is Cancer who's like holed up in their shell because like they just feel like nothing's going right. Right? As opposed to the Moon, which again, there's like very Cancerian energy, right? We have a lot of water. The Moon is the ruler of Cancer. We have this little sea creature coming out of the water, right? The subconscious. Like, this to me is like those dreams I've been having, where just like everything from the subconscious has been bubbling up. Like, seriously, like my subconscious kind of did like a year in review around the new year, where it's like, hey, here's all the shitty people that have been in your life this year. Let's like go through all of them. And I seriously had 4 or 5 dreams back to back about people I've dated the last year in that one night. And all of them hurt. All of them were like unpleasant experiences. Right? But what does Cancer do? What do crabs do in a storm? They hunker down and ride out the waves. So this is Cancer like kind of facing that darkness. This I like for you guys a lot. This is like, when I said talk about dreams and stuff, like this is the subconscious speaking. This is like your inner thoughts, your inner passions coming to life. Whether in your dreams, whether in intuition, whether in your daydreams, whatever it is, like Cancer's good at all of those things, right? But they're coming to life. And Cancer's facing it. Right? Like the best possible way you can deal with this energy here, Cancer, is to face it and transform it. Right? Like this is fear and anxiety over not having these things gone really wrong. This is fear and anxiety over these things like really going well, right? Like using it to your benefit, to make things happen, to manifest, to embrace like the darkness and the change, right? But like your eyes on the goal. You got the eyes on the prize. So it's kind of like less scary, right? Like to me, this is like Cancer coming out of their little shell, stepping out into the world and saying like, I'm here, bitches. Maybe that'll be the title of this video. Cancer's here, bitches, look out. Because you should look out. When Cancer's on their game, they're going to kill it. Right? They get serious. Forget that like Cancers are lazy bullshit. Cancers aren't emotionally lazy. Right? Cancers do so much internal work. Sometimes it looks on the outside like we're not doing anything. Again, but you know, we're not doing anything, but like inside you're transforming. Right? And then one day, like it looks like you're doing nothing and all of a sudden you're a new person. You're a new person and you're making things happen. And people see the shift, but then they're like, where'd this come from? They don't realize like all the internal work that you've been doing all this time. To get your head right, to get your emotions right, to get like in touch with yourself. Right? So Cancer, so far good, right? Like what I'm feeling here is like the implication that things have been like a little difficult, a little like emotionally, you know, not in the best place, but this is coming out of it. This is like this is like Cancer doing the work and taking those lessons and becoming a bigger, better person. Bottom of the deck so far, we have 3 of Cups. So fun, right? Like work hard, play hard, Cancer. Right? And I always think about this as a party card, and that's how people think about it, but it doesn't have to be like, you know, if that's not your jam, this is also just like socializing. Like what we said about like your friend network in the beginning. Keeping like your good people close to you. Investing in those relationships that are like important, that are supportive, right? So amongst all this work, like good times ahead, Cancer. And good, because you earned it, you know, you deserve it. This is like when all your work is done, when like your house is in order, when your finances is in order, and your mental and emotional house is in order, and you're feeling good. Like that's when you get to like really enjoy that shit, right? Instead of being like some person who like, you know, is maxing out your credit card to go to a bar because you're just trying to drown your sorrows. Like, I think I said this before in another video. I don't know if it was for you guys, like that Drake line, drinking every day because we drink to our accomplishments. Like that's when partying feels fun, right? When you have the security, when you know like you've been productive, like just falling out. Okay, so the 5 of Swords is the first outcome. So, you know, not easy, right? Like we have all these cards here that are promising but difficult. Like promising but difficult, right? Scary, but promising, right? Like takes a lot of effort and a lot of like drive, but promising. So Cancer, like, you're not out of the ballpark yet, right? Like, there's still some struggles to be dealt with. There's still some, I feel like, jumbled mentality. You know, the Five of Swords is often to me like conflict and opposition, but also like what happens in your head sometimes. Sometimes this is like just feeling defeated, helplessness, right? So you're gonna have those moments, right? Like, but Cancer, what I want to say is like, it's really important just as a Cancer to understand that your mood will change, right? Like, that's helped me so much because I'm a Gemini. Like, where the fuck did I get so moody? And then I realized I'm a Cancer rising. Does that explain it? Yeah. But then also as like a Gemini that changes its mind 10 million times a day, and then a Cancer whose moods just go up and down all the time, right? I've learned to realize, like, hunker down and weather it out, right? Because, like, the storm is going to pass. I don't know if you guys realize that for yourselves. Like, the storm will pass. Because, look what we have as your next outcome card, the Sun. And then the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands could be like a card of challenge, but to me, what it almost always implies is like you're game for the challenge, that you're strong enough. Like, that guy is fighting all those wands off, but he's empowered. He has the higher ground. Shut up. You know, I like doing these during the day because you get natural light and it's easier, but like, I got some loud ass neighbors. Like, you can probably hear their conversation fully, right? I apologize. Next time I'll keep the windows closed. But it's 80 degrees in LA right now. Like, I had to open the windows. It's January and it's 82 degrees out. Unbelievable. But this says to me, Cancer, victory. This says power. This says strength. This says, like, all these obstacles that you were feeling here, all this, like, helplessness, like, this is like a transformation, right? Look at this, like, look at the transition here from overwhelmed, from like defenseless, from hopeless to like, here comes the sunshine, here comes happiness and joy and light. And then look at you, the fiery ass warrior, ready to take on anything. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the month you see this. We have Leo here, right? So when you see that full eclipse in, that eclipse in Leo at the end of the month, you might be having moments where you feel like a fucking badass. Where you're just like, I got this. I got anything. Right? Someone told me once that confidence is knowing that you can handle yourself in any situation you find yourself in. And that to me is here what I'm seeing with Cancer. Right? It's like feeling like a boss. Looking at all the things you accomplished. Look at all the changes you made. Realizing that you're like way closer to your goals than you ever even thought you were. And like, excuse me, can you get that dirt off my shoulders, please? I can't reach it. Can you just like, yeah, get it off? Yeah, yeah. Because I'm a boss. Because I am fucking shining. Right? This is such a beautiful card. Like, for Cancer, what I want to say is like coming out of the shell. This is Cancer at its best, when you realize that you can come out of your shell and that you're not weak and vulnerable. Sure, maybe you're a little sensitive, but like, you still have everything it takes to succeed. You don't need that armor all the time. Sure, it's nice to crawl back into, right, and feel better at the end of the night, but this is like you shining. This is what happens when Cancer comes out of their shell and they realize they can handle it. They realize like they can handle it. Is the bullshit gone? No. But can you handle it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Just look at the bottom of the deck one more time. Oh, I don't know what this was, reversed or upright. I started reading reverse, but sometimes it confuses me because I don't, you know, I feel like the cards tell you enough context of what's there, but bottom of the deck, I don't know which way it was up, so we'll just go with it this way. King of Pentacles. Like, when it comes to the material world, the bossiest of the bosses of the kings. Just creating. Remember when I started off talking about creativity and creating and the life you want and like who you're going to be? Cancer. Like when you start off with the 10 of Pentacles and then you end up with the King of Pentacles, like underneath it all, this is what you're going towards. This is what the energy that's coming your way is all about. Like, is there a question that this is going to manifest? Is there a question? Is there any question that you have like everything it takes to like make shit a reality right now? In your power, Cancer. In the power. Right, so I'm going to show the cards real quick. I kind of just have to tilt the camera. You know, let me know also, does it add any value? Because like I show you all the cards, so you really need to like see them upside down to like get a full picture here. But let me just show them and we'll see what we got here. All right, so can we see all that here? All this like some struggle, some difficulty, but ultimately transformational. Ultimately like super powerful. Like manifesting your ass off. Right? Facing those fears. Not getting like not drowning in them. Cool. All right, so let's pull a couple of oracle cards to continue. And then we'll be on your way. Also want to mention in the bottom, you know, I have in the description a link for personal readings. Those have been a lot of fun to do. And then also my Instagram, go ahead and follow me there. And then also subscribe. You know, if you like what you're seeing, share it with your friends or just like throw a like. I love the comments. Honestly, the comments are my favorite thing. I don't always get back to them. I've been a little busy, but I love interacting with you guys. You know, the one thing that suffers when you're doing it this way is like, you don't get to have interaction with people. You don't get to have like the real-time responses. So the comments mean a lot. Subscribing means a lot. So if you guys like what we're doing here, I don't care if you're like not interested in getting a reading, it's fine. I'm not just doing this for, you know, that, but I'm doing it to interact with the community. That's what this channel is all about, is creating a real spiritual community. A lot of resources, right? Guidance. Anyway, I love this. Okay, this is perfect. We have the sea otter, right? What I said about in the beginning about relationships and what they're doing for you, which are being supportive, which are like taking away from you. And we have that 3 of Cups underneath here, right? Kinship. Pay close attention to who you have near you. You don't have to cut people out, but spend more time around the people who are feeding you than the people who are like demanding things of you or taking things from you. Right? Like recognize that your relationships are symbiotic, that they're mutual. There's a give and take. Right? The best relationships, there's an obvious give and take. It's not you know, shallow to expect to get something back from what you put into a relationship. That's what a relationship is. It goes 2 ways. Right? So who is around you, your friends, your social circle this month, guys, is going to be really important, so pay attention to it. Because look what we have. We have the Phoenix, we have the Right. Remember what all this stuff I was talking about with transformation? Right? With like facing the dark side, with like how it's difficult but promising. Like what a perfect card to show that. The Phoenix. Right? Like rites of passage. Like changes. Difficult, burning yourself up, but you come out like this beautiful beast. Beautiful beast. Right? So also what I like with this card is think about rituals. Right? It doesn't have to be spiritual, but like think about even just your habits. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? Is it productive? Is it feeding you? Is it making you happy? How do you spend your time when you get home at night? Right? Because this isn't just about transformation. This is also about rituals and how they serve your better good. Do you come home and sit on the couch and drink beer till you fall asleep? That's fine sometimes, but is that like how you spend every day? And then you're wondering like why you're not accomplishing your hopes and dreams and goals? Why you're putting on weight? Right? Pay attention to your habits. Pay attention to your daily routines. Right? And make changes where it's necessary. I know it's not easy, but like I'm doing it. I'm 2 weeks into a sober January. Is it easy? No. Do I want a margarita the size of my head? Yes. But, you know, it's been really good. It's been really productive. I feel healthier. I have more energy. I feel more lucid. I think my face isn't as puffy. I'm not hungover. I don't feel sick, you know? And then what do we have at the end? We have joy. Remember what we said about the Three of Cups and also the Sun? What was coming for Cancer this month? Happiness, fulfillment, like lightheartedness, right? This is Cancer coming out of their shell and saying, like, after the moon, after the dark night of the soul, you have the Sun. You have joy, happiness, lightheartedness, dreams and fantasies coming true. All right? So Cancer, I think that was a great reading. Right? Like, it's really encouraging to see that you guys are going to be on this, like, great path this month. Right? A great start to the new year. Excellent start to the new year. Right? Just keep your eye on the prize and remind yourself of how strong you are. Remind yourself of, like, all the things you've overcome before, you know? So that, like, when you're facing challenges, you're like, no, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. And I'm making things happen. All right, Cancer. So again, like, subscribe, share, comment, all those good things. Instagram below. It's getting more fun on there. So I would love to have you join me there. And I will see you guys in February. Best of luck. And just, like, kill it. All right? Adios, Cancer. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.